Hi everyone, it's been a while since I've done an actual vlog video for my YouTube channel, so I just wanted to do one and kind of talk about what I've been up to and kind of what I'm going to be up to like later this summer. So some of you may know that I've been in LA for the last 4.5 months. Got back about a month ago, so we got to do a lot of fun things. Like we went to see R5 and we saw the Warblers. Kurt and Dom did their show with Luke and James David and Kim and Lauren, and I saw Brock at 11. But another thing I got to do while I was there was I got to go to church. It's called Family Church, or First Family Church, sorry. It's they have 2 campuses in Whittier and Signal Hill, and Luke always talks about it, and I've seen like a couple videos of him from it and Brock performing, so I was really excited to actually go, and I got there and Luke was like, I can't believe you came. After that I was pretty much hooked, and Luke and Brock was there pretty much all the time except for I think 1 week he missed, but then Luke got to lead that week. But Luke was doing background vocals for Tim Davis for Glee, so sometimes he had to slip out or he'd do one service and not the other because there was 2 services a day. But it was really cool to see them perform like that because it's a whole different thing. Like, there's Luke and Brock singing with their like covers and original stuff, and then there's Luke and Brock singing in church. They do this duet. It's like a 6-minute song. It's called "Lift It," and it is amazing. I didn't ever go to see it live, but I've seen like they did it at 11 a couple times, and I've heard like acoustic versions of it, and it's kind of insane. But they would do other ones at church, and then it's just so cool to see all of these people that like don't care that Brock and Luke have done other things. It's just cool to see all these people worship in such a way and be so committed to something, and even if you're not like the biggest religious person, to go in to see that part of the service was kind of amazing. That was something special that I got to experience when I was in LA. But it seemed like every week I was going to like this show or that show or whatever, and it might have seemed that way to everyone else because it was. But there's so much like not only free stuff but like cheap things like $8 or $10 like little shows people would do. I got to meet like Dylan Chambers. I saw him a whole bunch while I was in LA. He did the Mint, and he did church 1 week, and he did the W Hotel, and it was just kind of, and he did the Promenade, and the Promenade is a whole different cool thing if you go down to Santa Monica. Of course, there's all the Star Kids stuff that we did. J-Mom's LA, where I got to meet Darren finally, and Alex Carpenter, and Lily Marks. Of course, there's Apocalypse Tour, all 3 dates of Apocalypse Tour, which were amazing. Theo Katzman came out for a couple weeks and did a whole bunch of shows. It pretty much, like, I saw him every day, and I was like, dude, you're wearing the same yellow shirt over and over and over again. So if you've been going through my videos and being like, what different venues but same outfit, it's because it was either the same day. He did Santa Monica one night, and then we went to Sayers Club, or it was just different days, and he just decided to wear the same shirt because his story he told us was, I had to bring all of this equipment and like music stuff, and I didn't have time to bring clothes, so I didn't have space to bring clothes. And by the last night we were like, we're gonna bring you something, like we're gonna bring you a shirt or something, like jokingly, but we totally should have, because but I saw when he went back to LA a couple weeks ago when I was here, and he did his show with Joey at the Mint. He was wearing a different shirt. What else did we do? Santa Ana for R5, which was kind of insane. It was it was Radio Disney, so we're like, oh my goodness, we're gonna be like the oldest people there, and thank goodness the Warbler boys are there, and Kent Boyd from So You Think You Can Dance. So we kind of all just hung together, and we went and got pizza, and then we actually ended up going, we're like, obviously Riker and them are busy, they're loading out, we're not gonna be able to see them, so let's just go back to our car. But our car was parked near the tour bus, because when we were trying to find a place to park, because all of the streets were blocked off because of Cinco de Mayo, the only place to park was in this parking lot next to this tour bus, and we're like, oh look, I wonder whose tour bus that is. Of course it was R5. So when we were walking back, we just kind of peeked around the side of the tour bus, and they were all standing out there just chilling. So I got to say hi to Riker again, got to meet Ross and Rocky and Ryland and Ratliff and Rydell, lots of ours. And we kind of all just hung out by the bus, and then the Warbler boys showed up, and we're like, we thought you were leaving. We're like, well, our car's over there, but why? We heard all these voices, and of course we're gonna stop and hang out. So we got to hang out with them. We took the big picture that Nicole probably posted. It became the background of my phone for a bit. It was like all of us, it's like Santa Ana R5 family. So that was kind of a neat thing to do. And then we did the no hate photos that we finally just got back in this past week. Nicole and our friend Taylor and I did them, and it was really neat because like when you're walking around LA, you never know who you're gonna see. And who do we see at the no hate photos, the photo shoot? But Tessa Netting. So she's probably seen her photo, and then we did our photos, and it was just something really neat. And to have at Coachella, which was insane. So if you've never been to Coachella before, it's pretty much you go out into the desert just outside Palm Springs in Indio, California, and it's this weekend of music, and there's all these different bands, and you pretty much have to like pick half of all the people you want to see. You'll end up seeing. You're like, well, we go to here to here to here, but then it gets to be 110 degrees outside, and you're like, damn it, I don't want to go out in the sun because there's like little shade. So we got to see like really cool. It was like you see the big ones, of course, like Tupac, the Tupac hologram, and Dr. Dre, and Snoop, and 50, and Eminem were all there for their big set, and then there was Radiohead, of course. We saw Florence. But then we got to see like little bands that like you maybe have heard of, maybe haven't heard of. And my favorite of those were Metronome. I got to do a bunch of different TV tapings. The Voice. We went to see the first performance episode of The Voice. We went to see the last performance episode of The Voice. I think I saw one in between that. I don't remember. I just seemed like I was always going to the Warner Brothers lot and waiting in that line. Did Kimmel a lot. I got to see Gavin DeGraw there, Lana Del Rey, right after, I think it was the week after her thing on Saturday Night Live. Jeff Goldblum. Nicole and I were sitting in for Jeff Goldblum. We were sitting right behind the producer because we got to know the audience guy. And he's like, okay, I'm going to sit you in this prime spot right here in the middle. You won't have to move. You're behind the producer, the kind of thing. And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to be in Seminar, replacing Alan Rickman. And we're like, and then the producer turned around and he's just like, I don't remember if he was like, shh, or like, oh my, thank you for that like awesome reaction kind of thing. Or we're just like, we kind of just grabbed each other. We're like, he's going to be in Seminar. And we're in LA, not in New York. What are we doing? But it was like, that was when he was promoting his right before we went on Glee. And then I did Cried for Santa a couple times. First time I went to see Julie Andrews. The second time I was supposed to see Don Rickles, and I have this thing where I'm like, Don Rickles is my ideal grandfather. But he canceled last minute, and I was like, no, you can't cancel. Oh, I love Don Rickles. I have to see Don Rickles. Every day I